Let's talk about Sheamus's retirement fantasy booking. It's a couple of weeks before the 2024 Royal Rumble. The Brawling Brutes have a tag team match on SmackDown. It doesn't really matter if they win or lose. After the match, while they're in the ring, Sheamus's music hits and he finally makes his return. It's a surprise. He's been gone for a little while, but now he's back. They all embrace, and then Sheamus gets on the mic and declares himself for the 2024 Royal Rumble. But here's where something very unique happens. Sheamus actually announces that if he wins the Royal Rumble, he's not going to WrestleMania to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. He's not going to WrestleMania to challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal title. No, if he wins, he's going to WrestleMania to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental title. So this is like the first sign that we see where he's just so obsessed with the Intercontinental title, the one title that has eluded him, that he's gone crazy. If he wins the Rumble, he doesn't even want a world title. He wants the IC title. On the next Raw, just in a regular backstage interview, Gunther is asked a couple of questions, and one of them is, what did you think about Sheamus, saying that he would challenge for the IC title if he won the Rumble? Gunther just scoffs and says something like, let him win it and then we'll see. And, that's that. And then nothing much happens between then and the Rumble. Just a little bit of hype on SmackDown. Okay, Sheamus, if he wins, he's going to challenge for the IC title if he wins the Rumble. Then at the Royal Rumble, Sheamus has a Shawn Michaels moment. So at the 2010 Royal Rumble, there was this storyline where Shawn Michaels was really obsessed with ending The Undertaker's streak, and at that time The Undertaker was World Heavyweight Champion, so Michaels thought, okay, I'd win the Rumble, then I'd challenge Taker at WrestleMania. So Sheamus is, going through the same thing, but he has a Shawn Michaels moment where at one point, he's gone over the top rope, he's standing on the ring apron, he's got his hands on the ropes, and then, someone bumps into him and he kind of loses grip and he falls out of the ring. And then he just sits there, a huge disappointment, huge sadness, like, okay, I'm not going to go to WrestleMania. My dream of beating Gunther for the title is, over. Gunther is even on another brand. So then what happens is on the next night of Raw, while Imperium are in the ring, whether it's a match or whether it's just them cutting a promo, it doesn't matter. Sheamus comes out and, tries to attack Gunther. And obviously because it's 3 against 1, they take him out, they beat him down, and, they leave him lying, He did not come here with the Brawling Brutes. They didn't even know he was here. And later on that night, we see a backstage segment where Sheamus is being attended to by medical personnel when Adam Pearce shows up, tells him, hey, you shouldn't be here, you're on SmackDown, and asks security to escort Sheamus out of the building. On the very next SmackDown, by the way, this is all happens in the first week after the Royal Rumble. So on the first SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, the Brawling Brutes are backstage. Nick Aldis asks them, where's Sheamus? They say they don't know. He's not here. And Nick says, look, Sheamus is becoming a liability, as you know how he is backstage. One more problem like this and I'm going to have to, let him go, indicating that he's going to fire Sheamus. Anyways, so the next day we get a tweet from Sheamus. This is outside of WWE programming. He says he's entered therapy, he's not doing well. And he's gone for the next week, and and then on the final week before the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event, the final SmackDown, Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes come out. Sheamus makes his return. He's gone through therapy for a while, and he just he he comes out of the ring and he says, "Hey, I'm doing better now. I've gotten over that. I'm not going to be challenging for the IC title." And then Ludwig Kaiser shows up on the screen and he taunts Sheamus. He tells him, "Yeah, you're despicable. You'll never win the IC title. Stay away from Gunther. Stay away from us. Stay away from Imperium." And this just angers Sheamus. It boils his blood. That Ludwig Kaiser has popped up on the Titantron and, is insulting him basically, even after he went through all this therapy to get better. So later on that night, Sheamus is backstage. He's angry. He's throwing stuff. And then he encounters Kofi Kingston. And Kofi, of course, he's a Raw superstar, but he's there. And Kofi says, "Look, I know what it's like to, have your dreams dashed. I was, at one point, I was WWE champion. I was on top of the world. And, all that got taken from me in like 8 seconds. Obviously referring to the time Lesnar squashed him for the title." Sheamus looks at Kofi, looks at him from head to toe, and seems to get an idea. And then he just smirks and leaves. The next night, it's Saturday, it's Elimination Chamber. The first match of the night is an Elimination Chamber match to determine a number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. Gunther is a part of the match. He's making his entrance when all of a sudden Sheamus comes out and attacks him, and just really, really, savagely attacks him. He even puts him through the glass in the Elimination Chamber pods. And this is before the match has started, so, Gunther is being attacked here. And, obviously the rest of Imperium come out, but this time the Brawling Brutes are there. They help Sheamus and, keep Vinci and Kaiser away. And, after that, just a stretcher is brought out to take Gunther away. And, he's just really, really badly hurt. And he can't compete in the chamber, so, Gunther loses his opportunity to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. So this is very similar to how Edge took out Kofi Kingston back in 2009. Preventing him from, competing in the chamber match. So, that's why, Sheamus got the idea when he met Kofi backstage. On the next Raw, Imperium are out. Gunther is bandaged up. He's angry. He calls out Adam Pearce. He tells him to make this right. But instead, Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes come out through the crowd. And Sheamus gets on a mic and he tells Gunther that, he wants the Intercontinental title. Adam Pearce then comes out. He gets in the ring where Imperium is. He tells Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes, who are still in the crowd, near ringside, near, where Samantha Irvin sits, but behind a barricade. And he tells them, "Hey, you shouldn't be here. I thought I told you last time, Sheamus. You can't be here." And then Gunther gets an idea. Seems to get an idea because he whispers something into Adam Pearce's ear, and then Imperium leave, and no one really knows what's going on. So later in the week, Adam Pearce puts out a tweet like, "Hey, this week on Raw, we're gonna have contract signing between Sheamus and Gunther." Everyone's like, "What?" So this is the second week after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. It's on Raw. There's a contract signing. Gunther and Imperium come out. Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes come out. Gunther signs the contract. He gives it to Sheamus. Sheamus doesn't even bother reading, just signs it, and he just smiles and leaves. And as he has exited the ring, with the Brawling Brutes and Imperium are still in the ring. Adam Pearce is also in the ring. He was mediating the contract signing. Gunther then gets on the mic. "You are illiterate. You should have read that contract, because in it says that if you lose, your career in the WWE is over. You're putting your career on the line. This is a title versus career match," right? Sheamus he looks a bit stunned, like, oh shit, what did I just do? But all of a sudden he gets on the mic, he then starts laughing, and then Gunther's laugh starts to diminish, like, wait, why is Sheamus laughing? His career's on the line now, he can't lose. So Sheamus says, then that just means I have nothing left to lose. And then he continues laughing, and his music plays, and the Brawling Brutes walk up the ramp, and meanwhile, Imperium are in the ring, and the camera focuses on Gunther's face, like, oh man, what what did I just do? I thought I was getting one up on Sheamus. He was so excited that he was gonna get a title match, he wouldn't even care to read it. But apparently it doesn't matter if his career is on the line. It's just made him more dangerous. So after this, the next couple of weeks of build up are not that important. But finally at WrestleMania, probably night one, Gunther and Sheamus have a match for the Intercontinental title. It's a title versus career match. Both men have over 20 minutes, maybe 22 minutes. It's a long match. Finally, Gunther beats Sheamus after 3 power bombs to retain the title, and he leaves. And then Sheamus is left in the ring. He takes his time to get up. He's helped up to his feet by the referee, and the crowd starts showing their gratitude. They chant, "Thank you, Sheamus," as he has his last and final moment in a WWE ring. So yeah, that's how I would fantasy book Sheamus's retirement. This would be his retirement storyline. It would take place at WrestleMania 40. It would be a title versus career match with Gunther, and I think it's a nice storyline to show that what obsession can do to a man, right? Like, you get so you get tunnel vision, focusing on what has eluded you, what you can't have, that you just let everything around you go into your periphery, and people like Gunther will take advantage of that. So yeah, that's my fantasy booking, and hope you like it.